Hey everyone, welcome to CoDot Podcasts. We have Adarsh with us today. Adarsh, welcome. It's great to see your rise as a growth marketer. Going through your profile, the tremendous amount of work that you have done. You've had quite a journey from your college days. You've been experimenting with different things. You've dabbled with entrepreneurship. You went into startups. You worked with many good companies, and there's quite a lot to discuss with you. And marketing and growth, I think, is the buzzword that goes around today, and a lot of people would have aspirations to join these teams. So it'll be a I hope it'll be a great discussion, and some good insights will come out of this discussion.
Thank you so much, Vinay, for having me. Excited.
Right. Yeah. So to quickly jump in and start off this conversation, Adarsh, you've explored the you explored the field you wanted to in your since your first year of college, right? You've been doing multiple things to understand where you exactly wanted to arrive at after your college. Uh, there is a certain amount of inhibition in students in the very first year when they want to approach, because they know they need to do something, but then there is an inhibition that they might not have required skills, or they think that I need to know 100% of something before I start doing something. So if we talk about this specifically when it comes to growth and marketing, now that you are a full-time professional into it, what do you think about two aspects here? Is one is to learning on the go, on the job. You join something, you learn something there, you pick up a skill from there. And obviously, there would be, other than this, the other aspect is obviously there has to be some fundamental core skills that are there within you. You can't not know anything and still expect someone to offer you an opportunity, right? Yeah. So if we talk about learning on the go, right, when you started doing your internships, when you started exploring outside, uh, what do you think about that key, that line of thought?
Good question, Vinay. So when it comes to learning on the go, I think this is a crucial part of your career and your journey, be it any marketing field. I will say I've learned a lot on the go with my colleagues, with understanding of different projects, with different tasks. For example, when it comes to marketing automation, content marketing, SEO, when it comes to growth strategy, I've learned everything on the go. And the benefit of on the go is you get to implement it right away. So you learn it, let's say from you get a task, you ask your colleagues, your managers, you research online, and then you implement it right away so that you have a real world experience. Then what you can do is if you have interest, for example, I had interest in marketing automation. I implemented marketing automation. I learned the basics through some research with my colleagues, my managers, and then I did a course on marketing automation. What I found out was I already knew the basics, and the new things that instructor taught me, I already knew where to implement them. I think a lot of time it happens that you learn a lot of things on the course, but you miss the nitty-gritties where to implement this and that small feature here and there. But if you learn on the go and then do the course, I think it will be game changing first. And learning on the go is very crucial. You cannot avoid that. I will say do some good research and then you will be there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, if you are just doing the course and you are not able, you're just learning for the sake because you want to join a digital marketing company. Sometime you learn digital marketing. Uh, you cannot do anything just by reading a course of 1 hour on
Correct.
what Google Analytics does, unless you don't
Correct.
implement it on a project. Uh,
100%.
right. Right. Yeah. And if we talk about core fundamental skills, right? I mean, okay, one thing is to learn on the job. You learn on the your skills are developed as you continue working from the start, but there has to be some amount of fundamental skills. So how does one
Agreed.
identify them, and how does one improve on them?
So when it comes to fundamental skills on any discipline, I think they are required. Basic knowledge of the industry is required hands down. So when I started my journey, I did a course on CXL Institute for Growth Marketing. It's called Growth Marketing Mini Degree. What that course helped me to understand is what is required in the industry first. Second, what is the hard skills required? When I say hard skills, what are the tools? What are the platforms I need to know if I want to become a growth marketer? Or even if they don't teach the platform, I will know which platforms do I need to do? I can do a separate course on those platforms then. CXL also taught me about Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. It taught me about Google Ads dashboard, Facebook Ads dashboard. Basics of it, but very helpful. What this helped me in getting a job at upgrowth at where I'm working right now, because as you mentioned, right, nobody will give you a job if you don't have any hard skills, if you
Mm,
don't know the basics. So I got the basics of what conversion rate optimization is, what content marketing is, how to optimize a landing page, what tools to use, how to look at it, how to use Google Analytics. So I think these are my hard skills, which helped me to get a job and then understand the nitty-gritty of it from the course. So go, so the course also taught me how to use certain features which will only be helpful in certain situations.
right.
For example, Google Tag Manager data layer will not be used everywhere, but it is
Mm,
important to know to get a job. You will not
mm,
get a job if you don't know that. So
right.
first, and if you have a course, if you have a knowledge basics, uh, you will implement whatever is the task given to you much better compared to who doesn't know and is learning on the go. So
Mm,
the framework is learn the basics first, learn the basics from the course. If it's utmost necessary, learn the basics, then learn on the go, and then if required, then do the advanced level course.
yeah. Uh, so, like you mentioned it, but ultimately, the whole crux of the conversation comes is that you learn, you implement, then you start continue learning again. Ki what more can be done? So there is always a certain amount of upskilling that is required.
Correct.
And today's world, where there is so much content available, there is so much happening at on the internet. Like you go online and search for digital marketing courses, I think you'll find every person selling a course starting ranging from 99 rupees to uh, 9 lakh rupees. Everyone is selling a course there. uh,
100%, man.
so in this aspect of it, when it comes, an important challenge that happens is to identify two things. One is to choosing a right course, right? It's a very critical aspect. You might be very interested, but if you don't do it at the right place, you might either lose interest, you might not gain the right amount of skills, you might get misled into thinking what it is. And second is, maybe the course is right, but it might not fit me. Not every course that is there online, or not every instructor who is there might fit what how I learn. My learning mechanisms are very different. So if we talk about these with respect to identifying the right course for a person who wants to, let's take marketing here for example. First of all, there's so many verticals of marketing in itself, so it becomes challenging to identify which course is right for me. So how did you do it? How did you arrive zeroed on a course?
A lot and a lot and a lot of courses are out there when it comes to digital marketing and growth. I agree with your point, and I can think of more than 15 courses right now, ranging from anywhere from 200 rupees to $2,000. So, when it comes to choosing the right course, I think there are two parts of it. First, on which stage you are. Second, on what level you want to understand the platform. Want to understand or get knowledge from the course. So, let's say you are a beginner, then you go with platform level courses. For example, what do I mean by platform level courses? So, drill down courses into two segments. One is the platform level course, one is strategy. Strategy and platform level knowledge is important when it comes to implementing anything. You should know how to use the platform first, and you should know why you need to use the platform. So there are a lot of courses out there which will teach you Google ads, which will teach you Facebook ads, but they will teach you how to use the Facebook ads dashboard or use the Facebook ads platform. They will not teach you the strategy in detail. And without strategy, you cannot do anything. You can do the basics, you can launch an ad, but you don't know which ad will work. You don't know how to majorly optimize it. You don't know what are the nitty-gritties to look for. You don't know what will work for your target audience. So when we start any marketing campaign, first there is a strategy discussion. And when the strategy is laid out, somebody has to just implement it. So if you know the strategy and implementation, works best. So look for if the course is teaching you strategy or implementation. So if you are a beginner, majorly you are looking for implementation and you are looking for platform level knowledge. Let's say you want to understand Google Ads. You go to Google Ads and then you learn Google Ads. You go to any course and then you learn Google Ads. So I made a course on Google Analytics course. So that course teaches, so that course is made from a strategical perspective and gives you the platform level knowledge which needs to be applied. Same goes with a lot of
Hmm.
ad related courses. A bonus tip there is if you want to learn on what course will be right for you, just look for people who have done that course. So recently, someone on LinkedIn reached out to me and asked, Others, let's connect. I want to understand about CXL Institute, the degree that you did. And we had a brief discussion, and post which the person was able to decide that this course is for them or not. So the person was like had 6 years of experience in marketing and concluded that this is a beginner level course majorly for 1 to 3 years of experience and decided not to take it because she already knew the basics of whatever is taught in the course. So go to the profile who've done it, go to the instructor's profile, talk to the instructor if you think. I've talked to a lot of instructors from CXL Institute and a lot of courses, different courses as well. Helped me a lot. So this is how you choose a right course.
Right. And I think you partially picked up and answered knowing what fits for you is to talk to people. But are there any other pointers that you see that a particular course fitting a particular person who wants to learn it?
Okay, so I'll give you one example. Now there are different courses. Some courses are, let's say, video based. Some courses are text based. Some courses are text plus video. Some courses have animated videos in them. Some courses have decks in them. Some courses are very fast paced and on strategy level majorly. The courses which are fast paced are on strategy level majorly. But yes, some courses will teach you the nitty gritty of it. A lot of courses will give you just an overview. So the 2 hour or 3 hour Google Ads dashboard courses is just an overview. But if you see a 10-hour Google Ads course, that will cover a lot of Google Ads and strategy in them.
Right.
So going ahead, first, if you have people who have already done it, fantastic. Go there and just ask first. Second, look at the timing of the course. How long is it? Second, what is the format? Is it text, video, and slides? Will you get the downloadable? So a
Hmm.
lot of courses provide downloadable and action items. Look for courses which have action items. So if it's the right fit for you, whichever thing works for you, you can go for it. If you like short things, so look at timing, look at will you get anything like a downloadable or a
Right.
worksheet. So I got
Right.
worksheets from my courses, and the courses I didn't get worksheets from are the courses I don't remember. Like the
Right.
knowledge is written somewhere, but I don't remember in my memory. But the worksheet I use, there is a worksheet that I use from last 3 years, which I got from a course, and I gave it to my clients as well. So that is also helpful. Look for downloadable timeline.
Hmm.
Talk to instructors. Look at YouTube videos of the particular instructor. Do you like that explaining style?
Hmm.
If yes, then go for it. If no, look for something else.
Right. Yeah. I think that precisely puts, I think you can, there are points 1, 2, 3 that
Correct.
one needs to look at and they can make a decision out there. And others, you have also dabbled with entrepreneurship for
Yes.
a short while, and you had an experience with your idea of on-site mobile and laptop repairs at Coop and Set,
Correct.
if I'm pronouncing that right. So,
Yes.
if you look back at that journey, and obviously any experience in your life kind of helps you and shapes you overall as to where you stand today. So, how has that experience helped you with respect to enhancing your own personality? And second is to how has that helped you in terms of your networking and professional growth today? So, let's talk about how entrepreneurship experiences helped you personally and especially in terms of enhancing your own personality.
Open Scent has changed me 100%, like 360-degree. Uh, Changed my complete personality. So if I give you my learning from Coop and Scent was, first of all, you know you can hustle. You have to hustle. You can do the hard work. You can put in. You have to put in the time. And by doing it, you are confident that you can put in the time first. Second is I knew that I can sell. And at Coupon Center, like we had our colleagues, we had our teachers, we had our classmates, friends. We need to sell them our services, right? Uh, so I know that I can sell, and that is a big thing because anywhere in life you have to sell. You have to sell yourself, your resume, your product, service. You have to pitch, you have to persuade people, and that is very helpful. Third is I got to know how to present myself. I talked with different stakeholders, went to different meetings for partnerships with different vendors, suppliers. I understood how to present myself. Like third. Fourth is I got to know how the world works. So my father told me that others, if you are collecting the money, then it's good. If the vendor is collecting money for you and then giving it back to you, it's not good. I was not able to understand it. But then words of wisdom came into action, and then I know something happened, and then I know, okay, my father was 100% right. I should like own the money part, like collect the
Right.
revenue myself because I own the business. Let's not give it to the vendor. Uh, very rudimentary business uh, perspective. Give me a lot of understanding that how to manage people. Fifth,
Mm.
you have to manage a lot of people. You have to manage expectations. You need to persuade your stakeholders, like different suppliers, different customers, marketing people, how to implement, how to go about it. Uh, also, sixth is how to handle roadblocks.
Mm.
We all face roadblocks in entrepreneurship for sure, and it solidifies you on how
Right.
to face failures and roadblocks and how to come ahead,
Right.
like how to leave them behind and go ahead. And gave me a good memory for life.
Right. Yeah, I think you always remember your startup journeys very fondly. You
Yes,
might forget over a period of time, you might forget your job experiences here and there, but
correct,
what you have done in
correct,
at your own job in your own company, you will never forget that. And
correct.
obviously, all of this, like you told, a lot of learning, which has also helped you probably professionally and in terms of networking. So, how has your entrepreneurship experience helped you in your professional growth and networking?
In networking, I think it grew my network by more than 5x minimum. Uh, when it comes to networking, I think uh, you need to talk to people when it comes to networking. And because you are in entrepreneurship journey, you need to talk to a lot of stakeholders, vendors, suppliers, customers, different managers. You need to hire people. You need to learn from different people, find mentors. So this helped me. So we faced a problem. Let's say the problem is marketing. How to solve marketing now? Let's talk to an expert. You have to network with the expert for sure if you want to reach out on LinkedIn and understand. So that is one. You need to find out suppliers for your product. How will you find suppliers? Again, you have to network. So grow your professional network. Also build reputation. So because I had a good network in my college, among students and teachers, professors, staff members, build a builds a reputation and gives a certain amount of credibility to other work that I do in college as well. So it enhances your network professionally in the business world. Secondly, in the college world, when it comes to the job market, it so a lot of people reached out. Hey, others, I want to get my phone repaired. Hey, others, I want to get my laptop repaired. Yeah, sure, for sir, why not? We can do this. By the way, what do you do? Oh, I do this. Can you provide an internship to my friend? Oh, for sure, why not? Again, the network helped for getting an internship for my friend. It actually happened. So that is how entrepreneurship will help you grow personally and professionally when it comes to networking.
Right. Yeah.
Also, can I
Um,
give one more tip there?
right.
Always carry a business card.
Yeah, it never hurts.
Never
Right.
hurts.
Yeah. Uh, and if we talk about your stint at the media end, right? I mean, I think it was one of the first organizations when we were trying
Yes.
to do couple of marketing activities on ground or
Oh,
rest of the places.
fantastic.
We came across the company and we were like, okay, what is this place where they've listed, like it was like a
Everything.
preliminary market research for us, and it's one of the great companies. They work with some great brands. You worked yourself with
Amazing.
great brands like Dunzo and like good
And
unicorns
number of
of
them.
a number of
Correct.
brands that have worked with them. Now, there's always a challenge that comes ki these big funded startups, there's always a question: ki, why do they need an agency? They can always have an in-house team. What is the role of a marketing agency to exist and things like that? So you have worked on ground, you understand this properly. You worked with vendor relations and client relations on both sides of it. So if we talk about two aspects, is one is a role of an agency for companies. Why do agencies exist? Why can't everything be done in-house? And second, if we talk about is to managing relations and communications, right? I mean, it's very easy to sit in an air conditioned room and prepare random things, but to be on ground and maintain that,
Correct.
to stand in a BMTC bus stand and get that banner up there, to have trusted vendors, that's a different ball game
100%,
altogether.
man. 100%.
So if we talk about the role of an agency, yeah,
Agencies are very important when it comes to any big company. The reason I'm saying that is agency has experts in their team. Not everything can be built in-house, let's say from day one, or let's say in the 10th year. For example, there's a company who wants to have a growth team. To hire a growth team, you need a growth lead, a good UI UX designer, a good copywriter, a great developer, a great data analyst, a great performance marketing person, a great retention management person who can manage the complete retention user base, and someone who needs to manage the tech stack completely if the developer is not 100% sure or does not have the bandwidth for the tech stack. So these are 8 people. For hiring 8 people, first of all, it's very expensive to hire 8 experts for any company. First. Second, when it comes to expertise, you need experts. This is not something which can be done by junior or mid-level roles. If you're driving a growth team, you need experts. So 8 people, 8 experts. First of all, high value. Second of all, difficult to find. Third of all, they will have their own teams, right? UI UX will have their own team. Developer will have their own team. So it becomes a big team.
right,
Third, this is so first of all, resource. Second of all, payment, salaries. Third, uh, experts have a knowledge of a lot of industries, right?
mm,
So when I was in media and I had knowledge of edtech, I had knowledge of how the delivery space is working, I had knowledge of how the D2C space is working,
mm,
different different things. So we brings a lot of perspective to the table for sure.
mm,
This is third, brings perspective. Fourth is uh, a, a lot of companies don't, I'll not say don't have the full-time bandwidth, but doesn't need a full-time person
mm,
for let's say you only hire an agency for doing your ads, right?
mm,
Your banner ads, outdoor banner ads. So you hire an agency which is an expert first. Now it's not a full-time role at your place.
correct,
The campaign is for 6 months, right? You will either hire a contractor, right? Either you can hire an agency which is an expert. Why not hire an agency? The fourth point is negotiation of prices. So an agency has multiple clients. So I was working in the newspaper and the non-traditional department.
mm, mm,
So if I reach to Times of India from the media end, I reach to Times of India, let's say 10 times a day. The guy has my number saved on his mobile phone.
mm,
I will have special rate because I give them regular bill.
right,
But let's say there's a different company who has to do a 6 month campaign, right? So they will not get the special rate
right,
because I get a special rate. I can pass on that benefit to the client, right? For sure, why not?
right, yeah,
Also helps me to give them a better rate. So if they call to Times of India, let's say the quote is 2 lakh rupees, and I give them 1.5 lakh, why will they not go with me?
right.
And I will also implement everything for them. They just have to come in. So training cost is also saved, because when people are onboarded, it's a big journey for hiring.
Right.
Training cost, and you should have the perfect training mechanism in place for that particular role, right? So
Mm,
the training cost is also saved. The agency takes up the training cost, and because they have multiple, so a lot of companies that we work with uh, are good at a lot of things, but
mm,
for when it comes to Google Analytics, for example, I'll take an
mm,
example of Google Analytics. It's not job of the founder, or let's say the overall marketing head, to understand what are the nitty gritties of Google Analytics, what are the updates available on Google Analytics. Okay, this thing updated. But an agency being specialized in that particular thing, it's his job to know what are the updates in Google Analytics, what are the updates in Google Dashboard. This can eventually help the company, right?
right.
So this is why an agency is required. And that's
Right.
why always an in-house team is not the right option. But it is a gradual stage. Let's say companies like Apple also had design agencies
Mm,
hired
right.
uh, for certain roles.
Right.
Why is that? Apple is a $2 trillion company, one of the biggest companies in the world out there. They still needed agencies for some of their roles.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So obviously, it has to be what suits your requirement. It's not one
Correct.
size fits all. So you have to weigh
Correct.
your requirements and then according to about that. And if we talk about your role particularly, which involved a lot of on-ground activity, a lot of relationship management as a whole, it's not like sitting in an AC room and making a decision that hey,
It's
today we will put up a banner in Silk World, and it didn't happen.
correct.
So if we talk about that with respect to your on-ground relations and communications, how did you go about that, and how did you acquire those skills? How did you make up for those things?
A challenge, man. A challenge. To be 100% honest with the audience, when I joined the media and the pandemic was going on, so the complete work was remote. But
Mm,
I got an exposure of how to talk to people, how to talk, how to negotiate. So it's not something you can do and sit and strategize. A lot of on ground experience of negotiation is required.
mm,
And I saw negotiations of big numbers I cannot disclose, but big numbers of negotiation was happening in front of me. Talking to people, yes, reaching out. I reached out to a lot of people from different industries for vendor relationship, and to manage vendor relationships from different states, from different publications is hard. Uh, when it comes to on ground, my senior told me that others, you are lucky that we are working from home right now, because the campaign which you are handling right now, when we handled it last year, we woke up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning, reached at the newspaper vendor's place, put in the pamphlets manually first, and then looked at other places, went to other places and checked whether the vendor has put the pamphlet or not. They put the pamphlet, we take a photograph of everything, and then we send it to the client that everything is implemented.
mm,
So it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of on ground going here and there. When it comes to non-traditional, so non-traditional basically includes, let's say you want to do no parking ads, right? You see a lot of no parking boards ads, Swiggy and
right.
Dunzo. A lot of people, majorly delivery people, did a lot of no parking ads. Auto ads, you see the banner behind the auto. So you have to physically go at a lot of places. You will go, or your team member will go and check uh, that this is done or not. You obviously get the photographs from the vendor who is implementing it. You obviously get photographs from the auto rickshaws and the households which it is placed. But again, you have to go and check. So a complete day can go in going there, checking, and it can be multiple places, right? Silk Board is different, Whitefield is different, HSR layout is different, Bannerghatta Road is different, Koramangala is different. So you see so much travel, and you know the traffic of Bangalore. So much travel,
Yeah.
and in that traffic, and then you understand it's implemented or not. So a challenge, man, a challenge for sure.
Yeah, but looks like you mastered it and you quite enjoyed that phase of
I
the journey as well.
I loved it, man. I loved it.
Yeah. And now you've been working with upgrowth for almost 2 years, or more than 2 years
Correct.
now, as a growth marketer there. Um, your numbers, what you have reflected and what you've done is great, right? I mean, everyone would want to achieve those numbers, would want to learn how to achieve those numbers and things like that. Though traditionally, by from education perspective, you're not trained in digital marketing
Correct.
per se. You have been doing good with respect to doing with achieving the targets and numbers that come out. So there is always a confusion that goes, ki, what does a growth marketer and what are digital marketing people do? Like, what is the difference between two roles? Because they're obviously not the same.
Not the
They're
same.
two different roles. And so, if we understand with respect to the job roles first, which is what is digital marketing versus what a growth marketer or a growth looks like, right? And second is some insights from the campaigns that you have managed here, where be it the podcasts where you went from 0 to 200 listeners a month, or getting growth of 10,000% on a website traffic, if we discuss about the insights from those things. So first, let's understand the role, right? Digital marketing versus growth marketer. Just demystify this thing. What are these two roles? How are they different?
This is the most common question I get everywhere. What is the difference in digital marketing and growth marketing? Okay. So when it comes to digital marketing is implementation heavy first. It's majorly silos. Let's say Google Ads is very different, and analytics is different, and marketing automation team is different. And it also very tactical in nature. But when it comes to growth is basically a mindset, I will say. It is very much number driven.
Hmm.
So if you see a digital marketing expert, both of them are number driven. But I will say the person from growth will look at a lot of things, will look at a lot of numbers from a lot of platforms, and a person from digital marketing will look at only, let's say, n number of 2 or 3 or 5 platforms, right? I look at digital marketing as, so a growth professional goal is to grow the business.
Hmm.
That is the goal. And a digital marketing professional's role is to grow that particular channel and optimize.
Right.
So let's say you are a Google Ads and Facebook Ads. Your role is to grow Google Ads and Facebook Ads effectively, right? I am a growth expert. My role is to grow the business. So if Google Ads, so I do that through digital marketing.
Right.
Digital marketing is a part of it.
Right.
Like those are the channels I use to implement my growth strategy.
Right.
So I I think that Google Ads is not working. Okay, let's put the budget here. Uh, I feel that my audience. So my audience is a person who is 25 years of age, 23 years of age, studied from tier 2, tier 3 college. Me make a complete persona and feel that 5 different channels will work for them. Because I'm a growth professional, I will come to a digital marketing professional that please implement Google Ads, or let's say please implement uh, different strategies of Google Ads, and these are the strategies we're looking to implement it. Uh, Digital marketing is also confined to marketing department, but a
Hmm.
growth professional. So this is a major difference. Growth professional is in touch with product team, customer service team, sales team, marketing team, main stakeholders. What is how to enhance everything, in touch with the
Right.
designers, with developers, everywhere. Uh, so your challenge. So if you are a growth digital marketer, you just have to go Google Ads, or let's say Facebook
Right.
Ads, email marketing. But I get insights from the data team that this feature in we need this feature. So I'll go to the product team and discuss with the product team. We need this feature to grow the business. We
Right.
need for example, we need personalization, which is product level personalization and geography level personalization. So if anybody is logging in from Bangalore, they should see Bangalore specific, or let's say Silk Board specific ads. Somebody who is logging in from Delhi should see, let's say, Saket or Chandni Chowk related ads. So that is something I will go and tell to product team, and then
Right.
product team will develop it. I get feedback from the customer service team. Okay, customers are saying this, they have this problem. Okay, you have this problem. This is the common question that we get. I'll go to the content team and ask them, please, can you make an FAQ wherein we resolve all the questions?
Right.
This is not done by the this is not done by a digital marketing person.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, Talking to different teams is a very big difference. Uh, Implementing the strategy holistically, I will say,
Mm.
when it comes to, so I've also worked with enhancing the business processes when
Mm.
it comes to growth, when it comes to growth strategy and growth consultation. It's
Right.
just not only digitally. How will you
Right.
enhance the growth offline? We reached out to customers, we reached out to a lot of experts who can help us in effectively making our process much more smoother, which has not to do anything with digital platform.
Right.
This is a major difference. So if you're
Right.
looking for a career in growth, uh, I will say you will be a better entrepreneur if you are in growth, because reaching out to people, for example, this podcast, right? You're doing this podcast for growth, right?
Right.
Your growth executive reached out to me,
Right.
not the digital marketing executive.
Correct. Yes.
That's the difference.
Correct. Yes.
Digital marketing will not do this. Digital
Mm.
marketing role is to look at, let's say, email platform, let's say chatbot, let's say uh, an analytics platform and ads platform. But the growth
Right.
professional has to do everything, anything
Right.
and everything related to business.
Right. Yes. I think that's quite elaborately put, and I think there shouldn't be any more confusion in the internet after this answer, that what a growth person does and what a digital marketer does. And if we talk about your insights from the campaigns that you have executed personally, right? From when you look at it again, if we put it this way, as a growth marketer, how do you look at these campaigns and how do you derive information from them? You might have done quite a lot of campaigns. So if you talk about those.
On a campaign level, yes, we have implemented a lot of campaigns, and uh, with the grace of God and with a very strong team at upGrowth, we were able to get very good numbers for our clients. When it comes to campaigns, we did a campaign, let's say, on web stories. We were exploring web stories and what are web stories. So web stories are basically it's a story, but given to you by Google.
Hmm.
Like anybody and everybody can have stories. You don't have to be an Instagram to host stories on your platform, or a Snapchat or a WhatsApp. If on your platform you want stories, you can use Google Web Stories. So Google Web Stories are also ranked in your Google Discover feed. Google Discover feed is something, if you left swipe on your Android phones, you get
Right.
a feed, right? That feed is
Right.
called Google Discovery feed. And if you scroll down, you will see stories like cards, right? That is called web stories. If you open your Google app, again, the feed you see is the Google Discovery feed. So what we did was we started creating web stories related to digital marketing, growth hacking, growth marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, and a lot of things related to marketing overall, because we are a marketing agency. What we saw was, if you crack growth, if you crack web stories, it can bring immense traffic to your website. Immense, because it directly ranks into Google Discover.
Hmm.
And when we started the campaign, growth, the web story feature was just launched,
Hmm.
like 2 to 3 months into the feature. It's 2021,
Hmm.
in starting of 2021, right? The first quarter of 2021, January, February, March. This is when the campaign happened. And we experiment with different content types, with different imagery, with different number of slides. And as a result, from start of the campaign to end of the campaign, we saw 10,000%, more than 10,000% increase in website traffic, because it directly ranks into the Google Discover, and we cracked Google Discover.
Right.
So it's a lot of SEO, it's a lot of creativity as well. But yes, that is one campaign I wanted to talk about. There is one more campaign that we did for scaling podcasts. So as this is a podcast, a great podcast, and you must know, you know already, right? Podcast is one of the hardest channel to grow.
Right. Yes.
It is. So when we were searching about how to grow a podcast, everywhere it's written, it's one of the hardest channel to grow. XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. Uh, we did it through email. We did it through putting the podcast, the word of mouth for the podcast with the client. We made a pop-up on the website. So this is everything is part of one campaign on how to see. This is again a growth professional comes in. How to grow the podcast. This is the line which I was given, how to grow the podcast. Then I have to come with different channels, different touch points. So this is another campaign that we implemented. We also did one more campaign for a lead generation client. This is pretty straightforward. You run a Google ad or Facebook ad and a lot of different types of ads, let's say lead generation ads on LinkedIn, and then you fill out a form, and then the lead is generated and you give that lead to the client. So that is also one
Right.
type of campaign that we have executed. Uh, when it comes to insights from the campaigns, that what I've learned, first is you have to be you have to be proactive. First, you have to understand your audience. Second, understanding your audience is very crucial. It is a saying in marketing that whoever reaches close to the audience wins. So if
Right.
you know your customer better than me, if I'm your competitor, you will win.
Right.
So that is a great insight that I got after implementing a lot of campaigns. Third is what I learned from campaigns is please be data driven. Don't think that this will work and just rely on your intuition, even if you've worked 15 years in the industry. Always see what the data is saying, and that will help you to reach stars and moons, but follow the data.
Right. Yeah. I think uh, that's the key today. That uh, in they say in God we trust, but rest must bring the data. Otherwise, you cannot rely on anything else here.
I
So,
agree.
uh, right? Yeah. Uh, So, if we talk about, like you brought up this, that marketing is a field of art, and it's a lot of creativity. It is mixed very well balanced with science. There is a lot of data. There is a lot of
Correct,
analytics. There's a lot of brains that are going
correct,
into it.
correct.
Uh, so this requires a technical approach, but you also need to have that creativity to be able
100%,
to
man.
make it work,
100.
right? You
It's
can't be all technical. If two companies follow technically everything right, what will make one campaign better than the other is the creative aspect to it.
correct, correct.
So if we talk about this insight on your role, particularly with respect to understanding how much of it is creativity and intuition and knowing okay, this might work, this might not work, and the second aspect to is also to understand with respect to how much of it is data and analytics, and how uh, all those aspects of science which comes into picture. So first, let's talk about this with respect to your role. How much of it is creativity and intuition?
A great question, Vinay. So when it comes to, it is creativity for sure. It is an art and science at the same time. And when it comes to how much of it is creativity, I will say 30 to 40% is creativity. As you rightly mentioned, what is the difference between two competitors when they do everything same? It boils down to the idea. I will make my point from something which Mr. Beast, the famous YouTuber, said. What is the difference between a video which got 3 million views and a video which got 30 million views? The guy who got 30 million views did not work 10x or 10 times more than the guy who got 3 million views. They may have worked, let's say, 3 times or 4 times harder or extra on a 30 million view video, but not 10x. But the results are 10. He gives the answer. The reason is idea, creativity. How creative you are for that video. How strong is your idea? How how well your idea relates to the target audience. How well do you know the target audience? And I'll give one more example. You have seen a lot of ads from fintech companies, right?
Right,
Paytm, PhonePe, and a lot of fintech companies, right? But Cred had most of the buzz when it comes to fintech ads, right?
right,
Everybody was talking about Cred ads, but not everybody was talking about other fintech player ads. Why? Everybody had access to capital. Everybody has access to different agencies. Everybody has access to different professionals. Everybody has access to different actors out there. But it boils down to creativity. Because of creativity, you liked Cred's idea, and then that's why you're talking about it. That's why we are talking about it,
right,
right? So it's a lot of creativity. And when you have to implement campaigns, you have to think out of the box for sure. Because
right,
one thing is creative now, it will not be creative or different after 2 days, 5 days,
right,
or a month. Nothing is same after a month.
mm,
Everything is copied, iterated upon, worked upon, and moved ahead.
right,
So you have always have to think out of the box. For example, uh, at upGrowth's website, you will find different uh, tools which you will not find on other websites. You
mm,
will find a lot of calculators which will help digital marketing and growth professionals. You will find decision making trees which will help you make decisions
right,
on the problems that you face. You will find the NPS page, which so these are creative options that we came up with to enhance our brand, to move ahead, to
right,
differentiate from the competition.
correct,
And creativity and intuition is a big part. I'll say
right,
30 to 40% for sure.
right. Yeah. And so if we talk about data analytics, so clearly if you're putting 40% of that, it means 60%, which is the majority
60%
section of it,
is
is data and analytics.
it's
So if
it's
we talk
total.
about that, key, how and why it is so
So when I started my journey from an internship, my professional journey, the first thing the founder said to me was, "Others' data is gold." And this is something I know from that time when I was 18. And that thing is true till date. And I think the data is much worth much more than gold. Like it's so important
important?
that if you remember the Facebook handle which happened in the late 2018, 2019, they
Mm,
sold data for billions of dollars. They caught someone that okay, they're selling data. The stock price crashed because Facebook sold the data. It is so important. When it comes to my role, we make campaign level decisions, we make business level decisions based on data.
mm,
On the day-to-day activity, for example, we a lot of times we think that this campaign will perform, but the data is saying that this is not performing. The creative which is looking much more simple, I will say, has performed much better compared to a creative which is much more detailed. This happened with us. We ran an email campaign, and this one email is very beautiful, with humorous lines and everything. And one email was very simply designed. I will not say it was bad looking. It is simple, but it is good, and normal writing, but it is good. And we thought that obviously the creative email will perform because we have put like 3x the time and efforts to create that. And the results are the opposite. The simple email performed 2.74 times better compared to the normal email. And everybody was stunned. This data point helped us to create email strategies on how to design emails and write emails in the long run. So this is
right,
one. Second, we wanted to make a so this is campaign level decision, right? You want to optimize for one particular metric, you look at the metric and you optimize. Being in being a growth marketer, I look at numbers every day. It is my
mm,
job to look at numbers every day and to see the metric is moving or not. So difference between A normal marketer and a growth marketer is always number driven. A marketer will have brand in perspective. Uh, so you will see the things which are metric driven major are majorly done by digital marketing and growth professionals.
Right.
It should be metric driven. It should have numbers in it
Mm.
inherently. That's why you don't see a lot of head of growth to do branding campaigns, because branding is something very hard to measure. It is measurable, but hard to measure.
Right.
I'll give one more example. So I give you the campaign level example. Let's look at the business level decision. So we wanted to make a decision of whether to use this feature, keep this feature or not for a client, right? And that feature was taking a lot of bandwidth. On when it comes to operations, when it comes to tech, when it comes to customer service, that feature was taking a lot of bandwidth. If we remove that feature, everything was good. So what we did was we did a survey. We first of all we looked into the data. What are the customer segments we have? We made the customer segment and we sent out different questionnaires to different customer segments.
Mm.
And what happened after that was we got in the data of different customer segments and how are different people reacting to the same question.
Right.
We got to know that we cannot remove that feature first. We have to invest more of our efforts on that feature. Second, we got to know more things about our audience.
Right.
And that understanding helped us to enhance our ads. This was not sent out to enhance ads. This was just sent out to understand whether we should remove that feature, keep that feature, and other business level things, nothing related to ads.
Right.
But the data we got was something that could be helpful for our ads. And
Right.
that resulted in 19.75% increase in the ROI after the survey results were put in the ad.
Right.
So data and analytics is everything when when it comes to, so for everybody listening this, if you are budding into digital marketing, growth hacking, or any different part of marketing, please learn how to use Google Analytics. It
Right.
will help you. Anywhere you go, Google Analytics will help you. Just learn how to understand numbers, how to gather insight, how to make decisions based on insights, how to crunch the numbers. This
Right.
this particular skill will help you a lot in your life when it comes to business, or you're doing a job, anything.
Right.
Not only marketing, other things
Right.
as well. So
Right.
big fan of data and numbers. That's why I did a course on. I created
Yeah.
a complete course on Google Analytics for men.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize the value of it. Just to put one more nugget, if you talk to different stakeholders, they will always try to understand what you did through metrics,
Right. Yeah.
right? So matrix KPIs. So when we present what the agency did to the CEOs and the leadership, we always show them dashboard, we report. These are the numbers which are moved. These are the insights that we got. So,
Right.
give you an example. So we looked into the data for this client, and we got to know that we're spending a lot on the complete month. We are spending very evenly in the month. And when we looked at the data, we saw that there are lifts in the start of the month and the end of the month. So from 7th to 21st, the sales are a bit low compared to 22nd to 30 and 1 to 7. With this data, we changed our ads. We changed our ads, which increased the ROI. The
Right.
ROI, or let's say the ROAS for the ads, was increased by more than 35% on Facebook ads and more than 65% on Google ads, just by this information.
Right.
That don't switch on, like don't put more of your budget in the mid part of the month and put more of the budget in the end of the month. Just this. We even did a blog on this.
Right. Yeah.
So
Uh, so obviously, and data today is the key. I mean, if you're not able to understand what is happening with your data, you're going nowhere with the business. If you
you're
can't
going
understand numbers, you're
just
nowhere. You
blind.
can't go anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. While creativity and intuition will help you hit it out of the park,
Yes,
but data will help you prepare to hit it out of the park. So I think if we can put
100%.
it out that way.
Data will keep you on the path for a long time. Creativity, let's say creativity is a sixer, right?
Right. Yeah.
But data is the batsman, the bowler, the fielder. Data is
Right.
everything.
Right. Yeah. And now, if we talk about marketing automation, right, it's the buzzword. A lot of people around are talking key, your marketing, a lot of, let's say, a day-to-day operational level activity that happen at marketing should be automated. It's a buzzword, but very few people actually understand it. Okay, what actually is marketing automation? So, if you can please share how simplistic yet a productive step taken towards marketing automation with respect to market research, and second, with respect to user feedback and retention. So, what are simple and yet very high productive steps that are taken in marketing automation in your experience that you have done with respect to market research?
Great. So for market research, marketing automation helps in segmentation of audience. So for market research, you will reach out to different audiences for different questions. How will you segment? That is done through the marketing automation tools, the segmentation and reaching out. So when to reach out to whom? How will how will we know? But the tool knows when to reach out to whom. What is the right time to reach out to for a survey? So uh, obviously we know we feed in the data, but uh, the tool will help to implement it, right? So if I want to send it to you, I know that Vinay is active at 8 a.m. in the morning, but the tool also knows that others is active at 8 p.m. in the evening.
Mm.
So you will receive at at 8 a.m. I will receive at 8 p.m. The same thing. Chances goes high, right,
Right.
of submitting the survey, which is
Mm.
crucial. If you have
Mm.
high response rate, your market research is much better.
Right.
Second is personalization. So when it comes to marketing automation, you can so everything is stored in the tool, and then when you are sending out, you can use the automated tool and send out the survey. For example, Vinay, you bought uh, you bought a mic for your podcast from Amazon, and Amazon is sending you a survey. How was the mic? So nobody was sitting there and typing
Right.
the email. How was the mic that you bought? It's a marketing automation in play. Automatically, the product will be filled in. Automatically, your name will be filled in. We know that you will realize the value of mic within 7 days of your purchase. So on the seventh day, you must have realized the value of it. On the seventh day, you will receive that email automatically. So that is marketing automation in play. And so it is personalized, right? You know, okay, I bought a mic. Okay, yes. These are the questions specified for a mic. You will give answers to them. So the feedback is correct, collected, and research can happen on that particular feedback, right?
Mm.
So customization, segmentation, personalization helps a lot in increasing the conversion when it comes to market research, helps a lot when it comes to marketing automation. Without marketing automation, it will take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and will not, may not, I will not use will not, may not result uh, in accurate numbers if you're
Right.
doing big, if you're using a big target audience,
Right.
because there is a room for error. But when
Right.
everything is automated, see, if there is an email, right, the email is templated and the
Mm.
email was approved and went through a lot of things. But if you do it manually, there can be a spelling error. I'm just giving you a very basic example.
Right.
The sending time can be wrong. You send it to the wrong audience. The thing which can be done in 2 seconds will take, you cannot send emails to 1,000 people in one.
Right.
Marketing automation tool can do that in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is helpful.
Yeah. And if we talk about marketing automation in terms of user feedback and retention, uh, how have you done that previously, or some examples?
User retention and getting the feedback is the key role of marketing automation. Is the primary role of marketing automation, and marketing automation tools are used majorly, predominantly for marketing, for retention of users. So I gave you an example, right? The tool knows what time you wake up. The tool knows what time do you respond. The tool knows what products do you use. The tool knows uh, what are the designs you like, what are the pages you visited, which location you're from. I'm giving a lot of information. People will feel like everything is is something the tool knows. But yes, the tool knows a lot of things. Um, so let's say for retention, right? You are using, I'll give you an example of body wash. Okay. Let's take an example of Bath and Body Works. Bath and Body Works is the famous company who sells fragrances, body washes, candles. So let's say you use a body wash from Bath and Body Works, right? And they know that a normal body wash will last 75 days. Okay. They know that. So how do they know that? From feedback. From feedback from the users. Again, automation will come in. So on the 75th day, or let's say on on the 65th day, you will know that okay, my bottle is almost empty. I only have few days left. That is the right time to send you an email, or let's say a WhatsApp message. Hi Vinay, your body wash is expiring. Do you want to renew it, or do you want to buy another one? A lot of us has received messages from Geo. Your uh, your plan is expiring on WhatsApp. Your plan is expiring. Do you want to renew? And the number and the plan is the same plan which you enrolled for the last time. So if you went for a 399 plan, the number will be there. Do you want to renew the 399 plan? And with a click of a button, you can renew that.
Right.
So that is retention at the best. You know the data, you know the marketing automation tool, and the marketing automation tool will help you to implement the WhatsApp, the email campaigns, the SMS campaigns, the push notifications on the website, or let's say on the app. That is what the marketing automation tool does. Again, when it comes to feedback, getting the feedback loops in. On the seventh day, you realize the value of the mic you bought from Amazon. So on the seventh day, the feedback email will go to you.
Right.
Automated, right?
Right.
Nothing you have to do. When it comes to Netflix, when my Netflix subscription was expiring, Netflix gave me the movies that I may watch in the email, and told me, "Do you want to see these movies? Please renew."
Right.
They told me that uh, these are the new movies that are coming up. These are the things that you may like. These are the features you have not explored. Everything and anything to keep me on the platform.
Right.
Everything is automated, and that is
Right.
done from marketing automation.
Right.
I hope I answered the question. You
Yes,
get the
yes,
answer.
yes. Yeah, I think you put it rightly in both the cases, how marketing automation comes into picture. And we've all been experiencing marketing automation in one or the other way with all the products
Correct.
that we are using.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So now if we talk about marketing as a role, right, it is all around us. Everyone is marketing something or other thing to us. So there is obviously a high expectation from marketers, like, to sell, to perform, to deliver research. It's highly target driven job. Sometimes the products are not good, so sales don't go through, but then people in the marketing are blamed that you didn't market it enough. Right.
Correct.
So there's always a wrong expectation, be it from an agency, be it from within the team. The expectation of marketing team is always to deliver. uh, Over a period of time, you do realize that it doesn't work that way. Marketing and sales are two different verticals. What's Both their different roles, but in the early part of the career for a young marketer, it's obviously a high pressure scenario when suddenly something is not working.
Correct.
They tend to panic. So if you have to give, as an experienced professional, if you have to give some tips to the young marketers who are about to join with respect to how should they be setting their expectations and boundaries to understand, uh, if I'm doing marketing, this is my boundary. I can't ensure that I will sell 1 lakh products of this. How do we set your expectations and boundaries very clearly? And second is obviously to define the KPIs for yourself, to understand that these are my KPIs and these are the things that I need to achieve. So let's first talk about setting expectations and boundaries when a young marketer is entering the field.
Thank you so much, Vinay, for telling everyone that we feel the pain of selling and being
Right.
on high pressure roles. Obviously,
Right.
marketing is a is a high pressure role and everybody is expecting numbers from us. We just discussed about numbers. Everything is number driven. Everything is
right,
revenue driven. And how will you manage these expectations and boundaries? First thing, I'll give you how the real world works. Client comes to you and says, I want XYZ sale, right? I want to grow 10x. Okay, let's sit down. How will you manage that? What so first you have to set a baseline when it comes to managing expectation and boundaries, set a baseline. In our example, what is the client's last 12 months numbers, month on month? How much you did in January, February, March, April? You get the numbers and you see the real-time growth in the numbers. Okay. That is the baseline. Let's say, for example, from January to February, you grow 10%. From February to March, you grew 15%. And from March to April, you grew 7%, right? So we see the growth is between 7 to 15%. Now the client comes and says, I want 100x numbers, let's say 10x numbers, anything. We will tell them, okay, if you want 100x numbers, this this is the cost, which depends on based on your growth numbers, based on the baseline. This is the cost which is required to reach 100x.
right,
You can track your cost back when it comes to digital
right,
marketing and growth hacking. That if you will need 10 rupees to get a revenue of 50 rupees or 60 rupees, you can track that. That is called ROAS. That is trackable. So when it comes to baseline, you set the baseline and the customer is asking 10x returns, right? Then you can give them a budget. Okay, if you have this much of budget, then we can go 10. If not, if you say that my budget is 50 lakh rupees and I want to achieve a number of 100 crores, based on the numbers, we can tell them this is not achievable. So setting expectations is very important when it comes to client management. The question is basically how do you handle client? So
right,
setting expectation is very, very important. And being transparent with the client is a blessing. Clients will love when you are transparent with them. If you think that the target is unachievable, put it in a data-driven way to them. Just as I told you right away, if you're growing 5% month on month, or let's say 7%, 10% month on month, you cannot expect to grow 100% from the very next month.
right,
That is not possible. First.
mm,
Second, when it comes to the product is good or not, when it comes to setting expectations on the sales numbers, there is always a ballpark number in every industry when it comes to retention.
mm,
So how will you understand the product is good or not? Majorly based on retention. If the retention number are close to industry average or more than industry average, then it's not the product, it's something else. I'll not say
right,
this, it's the marketer, it's something else.
mm,
It can be marketer, it can be other things. It can be the customer service team as well. Who knows?
right,
Nobody knows. So uh, you now you understood how to manage expectations with the client, being transparent, being honest, and being number driven. Now you also understood that how will you know the who is it? Like it's you or it's something else. It's the product or something else. If the
mm,
retention numbers are good, it's not the problem. It's something else. It can be tech as well. Let's say the website is not loading.
right,
What will a marketer do if the website is not loading? The ads people are coming. People from ads will come to the website. Our website is not loading. Obviously, the ads will not load.
right,
What can anybody do in that case?
right,
Right? Then a CRO professional will come in. Again, that comes in the growth marketing. Another conversation. I just want to tell everyone it can be a lot of factors.
mm,
Just for an example, there was a month when sales skyrocketed, like blew minds. So everybody came to us. Thank you so much. And we knew that we did a lot of efforts for that particular month. But that exceeded even our expectation. So we went back and did market research why that happened. We found out that our campaigns worked according to our numbers, according to the expectation we set internally, and worked better than that. But the exponential growth came from another external factor. Let's say uh, some celebrity talks about the product range you are in, right? Not your brand, but about the products that you are selling, right? That's an external factor. That again comes under expectation management. How
Right.
will that is an external force. Same thing can happen when a sales dip there. So if 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 it's a food client, food is very seasonal, right?
Hmm.
Uh, Sale of mangoes, sale of different things will be seasonal. There can be a drop in because of a lot of things. There can be a rise because of a lot of things. You can see a rise in sales of tea when during the monsoon season. So, so it's an external factor. It's not your marketing campaign.
Right.
So you need to have that understanding first. What are the externals? Second, you need to understand the baseline. Third, you need to be very transparent and honest. And everything is number driven at the end of the day. So keep that in mind, and you can only pull certain levers.
Right.
Right. So as a marketer, I can I can change ads, I can change the website, I can change different touch points, I
Hmm.
can change my social media, but I cannot change your thought process, which is because of a news,
Hmm.
which that will take time. I can change that, but that will take time.
Right.
External factor.
Yeah. So I
That
think
is there.
yeah, very rightly put, aptly put that, okay, how to manage your expectations and things like that. Right. And now if we talk about defining the KPIs for yourself, now that you have understood expectations and set everything clearly, how do you define that, okay, these are four things I should achieve so that I can reach those expectations? So how do you define those?
Fantastic question. So again, it comes to expectation management with the client. Uh, on the expectation management part and defining KPIs for yourself, there are only certain things that you can control. So when it comes to KPIs, there is something called as input KPI and there is something called as output KPI. Input KPI is something that you can do. Output KPI is the result of it. You can run ads. You cannot control the revenue.
Right.
Input KPI is the budget that you can put in. Input KPI is the optimization that you can do. Input KPI is the key number of keywords that you can do for that particular ad. Output KPI is the revenue. Whatever you put in are the levers that you can pull. So for if you're defining KPIs for yourself as a marketer, look for things that you can control. I can send emails, targeted emails for marketing automation. I can optimize the ads. I can bring in the budget down. I can bring the budget down by using XYZ optimization. So look for input KPIs. What all input you can give.
Hmm.
Only those are the KPIs you should keep for yourself. Okay, last month I worked hard and put out 10 campaigns. This month, my target is to do 12 campaigns. 12 campaigns is difficult, but that is 20% growth. And my campaigns resulted in a revenue of, let's say, $100,000. This month, it should be $120,000. That is again an output KPI, but you can keep an output number for you as well. That is a direct result of your input KPIs. But let's say the number of campaigns that you do is an input KPI. The number of revenue that you generated is an output KPI. You can segment it in that way. Also look at what all things you can control. You cannot control user behavior, but you can control. Okay, I'll give you an example. If let's say you have to optimize an ad, you can control the audience. How will you control the audience? By changing the audience in the ad dashboard. But you cannot control the audience behavior. What will they do on the website? Will they buy it or not? So you need to have an understanding of the audience, correct?
Right.
So I will optimize my audience is the goal. My KPI is, let's say, the audience which comes in engages on the website. That is something, how will I track it? That is your KPI then. Improve on KPI, improve on KPI. And when you're defining KPIs for yourself, always break it down into time period. Uh, so my KPI is number of campaigns I do in a month, in a quarter, in a week, in a day. Please break it down. It will help you a lot.
Right. Yeah. I think some great insights, and not just for the growth marketers. It's, I think, the KPI GAN is in general for
Yes,
anyone who, how do you define your task? It is very well discussed here. Uh, Now, others, again, coming back, and let's talk about your role, particularly as a growth marketer, as a growth professional. A lot of people want to come into growth as a role. I think in the last couple of years, growth, product, growth hacking, like
correct.
these are the words. Like, developers were a point of time where the buzzword, now it is growth and product and these segments where a lot of people are talking about these things.
I agree.
So let's talk about uh, two aspects here with respect to a point of view from a growth professional, with respect to how does your day-to-day job looks like. What does Adarsh's day looks like when he starts his day at, let's say, 8:30 or 9 o'clock till 6:37 maybe. And second, we will discuss is the real world tough challenges that a growth professional faces at the job, basically. So let's first talk about your day-to-day job. What does your day look? What does the day of a growth professional look like?
First of all, the day can be much longer. uh,
Right.
uh,
Uh,
so my day-to-day job is a lot of things. I'll not say it's one. It's
hmm,
analyzing the numbers first. When I say analyzing the numbers, analyzing the campaign performance, analyzing the website performance, analyzing the social media email numbers, analyzing the behavior on the website, analyzing different reports, dashboards, numbers first. That's a big part. Second is strategizing. When I learn from what I analyze, I strategize. When we sit and strategize, a lot of stakeholders are involved. So when you strategize and understand the data, you talk to different experts, or let's say different stakeholders. So my day involves a lot of talking to stakeholders, a lot of meetings, man. There was a time when my complete calendar was filling and I was asking my manager, how will I do my task? I'm talking all day.
right.
So, uh, so that is second, strategizing, analyzing data, strategizing, doing a lot of different stakeholder meetings. Fourth is implementing. So when you strategize, you understand the data, then you implement. So I implement marketing automation, analytics majorly. So then I work with the implementation team, and then I implement it myself. I put things on the platform. I talk to the developer, please implement this, please implement that. And then the fifth point is it's project management. So when you are a growth marketer, you are in touch with a lot of things. So I gave you the growth team, right? Designers,
Right.
developers, analysts, performance roles, and a lot of things. So to talk to a lot of people about how it's going.
Mm,
So my day involves a lot of talking with the performance experts, a lot of talking with the graphic designer, the video experts, with the developer for sure, and with the client. So to manage expectations from the client to understand. So it's a lot of project management. Did this happen? Did that happen? How is the report looking like? Okay, this happened. What is the roadblock?
mm,
Understand the roadblock. When it different things also include when it comes. I'll just break it down. So analysis, I broke it down. Analysis is reports, campaigns, sales performance, website behavior, everything. Talking is performance roles, designer, developer, different stakeholders for different roles. Implementation is on the platform, Google Ads, Facebook Ads, Google Analytics, SEO, website, and marketing automation tools like Klaviyo or ActiveCampaign, HubSpot. This is how my day looks like, and a lot of research.
right.
I
Yeah.
told you, man,
That,
this is not this is not the timings that you mentioned. This is long.
so so it's I think I had to take back my word. It's not 8 to 7. Probably it's probably 6 to maybe 12 o'clock in the night. I don't know. I mean, it looks like a
It's
long day and a lot of brain work
it's
that's
it's a
involved.
long day, a lot of brain work, but I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate to work at upGrowth. I'll say for
Right.
sure.
Yeah,
A lot they take care of whoever work with them very carefully, and they treat them well, which is very important.
right,
So shout out to upgrowth as well for keeping professionals like us very happy.
right. Yeah, I think good work environment is what keeps you
Very
happy. I mean,
crucial. Correct.
it motivates you to keep going.
Correct.
Uh, and since you're talking about the work environment and everything, no job comes easily, right? There are obviously challenges. It's like, every job is laced with its own set of challenges. Some are perceived challenges from the outside, but let's not talk about what people who are not in the growth think challenges of growth are. Let's talk about the real challenges that a growth professional faces.
The real challenges a growth professional faces is a lot of open threads, I will say. This is one. Because you're talking to a lot of people,
Hmm,
a lot of open threads are there. When you talk to the designer, you need 10 campaigns designed. When you're talking to the performance expert, you need 3 campaigns to be launched, two to be optimized. And you're talking to customer service expert, you need 3 surveys done and and a lot of things. So you need to manage a lot of things. That is a real world challenge, I will say. A lot
hmm,
of open threads and to manage different stakeholder expectations. Because you're a growth professional, you're in touch with a lot of direct. Majorly it's a client facing role
hmm,
for me at least.
hmm,
So managing expectation of the client is a real challenge. This is something that we've discussed earlier as well. That's why being transparent is very important. So
hmm,
open threads, roles, managing expectations is hard. Creativity is a tough challenge because ideas, you have to train your mind. I believe you have to train your mind to be, you can train your mind to be to do everything. And
right,
creativity is not different. I know a lot of people may differ, but oh, I'm open to chat on that. But creativity is something that uh, is I'll not say a challenge, but obviously requires time
hmm,
to to come up with creative ideas. Third,
right,
fourth is being up to date. You cannot miss anything. You cannot miss updates because you have to keep up with the industry, right?
right,
Because if you don't do that, your competition will do that,
right,
and it will reflect out there. So being
correct.
updated, and because you're a growth professional, you're into a lot of things.
Hmm,
You're into a lot of things, not only for one particular platform per se, but from an industry perspective also, you're in a lot of
correct.
things. Being up to date on that. Uh, so being a growth professional is a T-shaped thing. That is also one of the difference between digital marketing and growth professional. Is a growth professional knows a lot of platforms, a lot of things. He knows how content works. He knows how ads work. He knows how analytics work. He knows how SEO works. He knows how the website UI UX design works. He knows the basics of development, but he's specialized into 2 or 3 things. So I know a lot of things and have the basic or intermediate level of a lot of things, but I have deep knowledge of analytics and marketing automation and strategy. So that is
Hmm,
called T-shaped marketer. So a
right,
T-shaped marketer is majorly a growth professional.
right,
So being T-shaped is a challenge in itself.
hmm,
We have to keep up with a lot of things. So
correct,
with the advent of AI, so when AI came, so ChatGPT hit us very hard. We learned a lot from ChatGPT, and then a lot of different AI tools which are coming by the day. So
right,
keeping up to date from these tools is very important. This is not related to marketing, but
correct,
this will affect marketing big time.
right,
Everybody is talking about, okay, we can create the content, we can create SEO content, we can create the email content. Again, this is related to SEO, right? This is related to email marketing. ChatGPT can also help you with strategizing. We did a complete podcast on ChatGPT. You can check it out on upgrowth website. Uh, so being up to date, seeing new things which are coming up, AI, big time. This is obviously a challenge. Yes,
right. Yeah. So I think the last point is very important, that keeping up with the world is
very
extremely
important.
critical. I mean, if you're not there, if you're not skilling up constantly, then you're not going to head anywhere,
Not correct.
right? Yeah. And if we just talk about a little bit about your education, right? You did your bachelor's from Christ University,
Yes,
and then now we are working as a growth professional. Many of them will aspire to be there without doing an MBA, right? Mostly marketing is seen as a career post MBA. Not many would think, okay, after bachelor's, or at least they won't think it, they might be able to scale in their career with respect to this. So if you have to talk to a junior you or your juniors from other colleges, what would be your suggestions for planning career in marketing when they are in the first year and when they are in the second year? So first, let's talk about the first year. What do you recommend a student who's in the first year of bachelor's, who aspires to join marketing as who aspires marketing as a career?
If if somebody wants to join market, they need to understand that marketing has a lot of different things. In first year, you can understand what are those different things. You can explore a lot of different verticals. You can talk to a lot of different people. Let's say you try to explore through an internship, or let's say through a course on what is content marketing, what is SEO, and you build your mindset basically in the first year, and you understand what are those important skills and get some exposure of those important skills. When it comes to choosing a career path, again, if you're not sure that you want to do marketing, that is also a big question. Not a lot of people, in my opinion, know that they want to do marketing when they're in first year. They just know a hang of it, what is marketing, but they don't know what marketing is. Marketing is hard work. It seems cool, it is cool, but again, it is hard work. So explore, first of all, explore, get into it, talk to people, uh, find out why you want to do it.
Right,
If you don't have a purpose, you will not stay in this industry because it is changing by the day. Marketing is evolving. Like you have to be up to date, and it's not
right,
easy to be up to date for everything, right?
right,
You I'll give you an example of Google Analytics. Google Analytics 4 came. A lot of marketing professionals who have used last Google Analytics version for last 10 years are facing a problem in shifting to GA4. Uh, so that is again something you should be purpose driven. My purpose was to be into growth marketing. I want to be an entrepreneur. I was an entrepreneur earlier. I come from a business family. Entrepreneurship is in my blood. Uh, how to I am in marketing, especially in growth marketing, to learn how to grow businesses. Right. What is your purpose? First, figure that out. What is your purpose? If you understand you want to be in marketing because of XYZ, then you can go ahead and do that particular courses. For example, you want to be in marketing because you like creativity first, and you like to build reputation, your personality as such that you keep your reputation well. So then you can go into brand because brand is about reputation majorly. But if you are something who is very number driven, or let's say very creative in writing, I'll give you basic, then you can go into content marketing. Why not? Then you can go into creating videos and helping people with content, writing it down. So it also depends on your personality. Figure that out. If you know the purpose, you have the clarity why you are doing what you're doing, you are ahead of 80% of your class. If you know what you're doing and why you're doing what you first of all know what you're doing. No, first of all, know why you're doing it. It will automatically give you some things to action on. Then take action on it. How will you take action on it? Talk to people, do some internships, understand what is required. For let's say you figure out that you want to do graphic designing, right? UI UX, for example, not graphic designing. Let's say you want to do UI UX. You understood that in your first year. You can apply for an internship. Now you know that you want to build a portfolio. Start that from first year. How to build a portfolio, learn Figma, learn Adobe. That is how you start
right,
in your first year. If I got a chance, I need clarity. If I got a clarity, then it keeps you driven.
right. Yeah. And now, if you talk about someone in second year, and they've figured out they want to be in marketing, what's your word of advice for them?
Internships, man, do internships. Internships will give you the real world example. So if you're in first year, in my experience, a lot of people will see you, ye to bachcha hai. He's a kid now. He's a kid. In second year, obviously they will also think that you're a kid, but people in second year and third year have much more, uh, let's say, credibility to them compared to a first year. You can show your degrees, or you can show, okay, I'm doing this for many years. So it's easy to get an internship in second year. Internship is one. Second is network. Now you know that you want to be in marketing, and let's say you want to be in UI UX. Now you can network hard, network hard, build your profile hard. I will say, if you'll network, it will give you a much broader perspective on how you should go about things. So network, do internships. If possible, start something of your own, if possible, because internship will give you the understanding of how real world works. Courses, start courses. Courses will help you to get the real world knowledge. Networking will help you the perspective. But if you start something of your own, you will have much broader perspective, I will say. Let's say you start freelancing at the end of your second year. You've learned a course on UI UX. You have done 3 internships or 2 internships of 2 months each on UI UX. Now you start freelancing on UI UX, let's say on Fiverr, on different platforms. Now you will understand how the real world works and how the client relationship works. So it's not only one thing, right? You have to develop your communication skills. So if you're in second year, please develop your communication skills. It is very crucial in any which ways, be it
Right.
marketing or anything. I will recommend Toastmasters. I opened I was a part of Toastmasters from my first year of college. Uh, I joined Toastmasters as a member in second year of college, and I opened a Toastmasters club in my college because there was a need of it in third year. So join Toastmaster, do get into communication and start that journey from second year.
Right.
So just to summarize it, start courses first, do internship second. If you can build something of your own, fantastic. Learn communication. Toastmasters will teach you a lot about communication. Fifth, network hub,
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
Itna kar lo. If you do these things,
That's it. There's nothing more
that's
needed.
it. You don't need nothing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Adarsh, if we talk about what we have been doing now, so how do you think the dialogue and experience-based education, that the idea of what CoDot wants to deliver, benefits people with respect to, one is to provide a realistic inspiration, and second is to develop better mental models of what what are the ways that they can inculcate to achieve something, right? So if you talk about having a realistic inspiration by the means of what CoDot is trying to deliver, how does it help, and what are your?
When I first of all, CoDot is doing an amazing work. This is something which will be very helpful to a lot of to the current generation. If I had CoDot, I think would have changed. A lot of things would have changed if I had the experiential learning with me available. So
Mm,
if you have experiential learning available, first of all, it helps in managing expectations. A lot of people may know a lot of things because of CoDot, because you guys provide the real world experts on the platform. They will give you real world challenges, right? I gave you tough challenges which I face, which are very real
mm,
world. So helps to manage expectations first. It is not a fairy tale. You will understand. It's not a fairy tale after you understand the real world expectations. It will show you the hardship. It will show you the use cases and so where that use case can be applied
right,
based on experiences. It helps you to remember it better. I will say for sure. Experience based learning helps you to remember it better. And what CoDot is doing, so I purposefully will choose an answer, right? So there are much more chances that I will remember it.
right,
That is experience.
mm,
And I am sure that is one of the main motives of keeping it optional,
right, yeah,
so that it feels that it's for me
right,
and I am choosing what I want to hear.
right,
Right. So so that is something which helps in real world inspirations. And also, as you mentioned, someone from Christ without an MBA degree can do it. Can sound difficult, but I'm telling you it's not difficult, it's just hard work. So it
right,
again puts realistic inspiration for people that it is
right,
possible and can give you the guidance on how to do it.
right.
Very helpful, man.
Yeah, yeah. And if we talk about developing better mental models, because when you keep taking decisions, when you're listening to multiple things, it trains your mind with respect to
Arey,
think
for
and start
sure,
understanding. So, what are
for
your
sure, for sure. Experience. Okay, so I'll give you this. A lot of us have played cricket, right? And a lot of us has read about cricket.
right,
After reading about cricket, you cannot make decision on where to keep the fielder,
right,
on how to bowl. Should it be a Yorker or a bouncer? But if you have played cricket, you will intuitively know, okay, I need this fielding, I need this Yorker, I need this bouncer. They should be this, they should be this. So again, it's experiential. I will have different approaches to think for
right,
because I have experience of it. I will have
right,
different approaches and better mental models to think. How will I
right,
develop that mental model? When you are into things, when you are learning from the expert,
mm,
you know the actual things. Now your brain is not in fairy tale. Now it starts thinking on the right track. And you ask genuine and correct questions. Asking the correct question is important, and that will help you make better mental models
correct,
on how will you know which questions to ask based on the correct inputs and realistic inputs. How will you get realistic input from inspiration? Like from experiential learning. How will you get experiential learning? CoDot is the answer, my friend.
right. Thanks for your kind words, and I really like that you are resonating with our vision as well. And so, others, now that brings us to the last question. Uh, to Let's take it a little bit of a fancy way. Let's say you get to travel back in time, and you have
Uh,
that luxury. What would you do differently in your first year and in your final year? Right. So let's talk about what would you do different in your first year if you get to go back now.
First of all, I will thank God for reliving my first year. I think being
Yeah.
grateful is very important. I will, if I'm in my first year, I will do a lot of events. I think doing events in college is very important. I will do a lot of events and I'll talk to a lot of seniors. Uh, is something I will do differently for sure.
Right.
When it comes to first year, I'll do more internships. I did one internship in my first year. I want to do more, and I
Mm.
want to study about more industries. Uh, I will definitely explore every club in Bangalore. That is something I missed out in my first year, and
Right.
that has to be
Yeah.
carried on the second year. But
Mm.
that has to be completed in first year.
Right.
And I will make a good list of the treks and the places near Bangalore. Bangalore is blessed with a lot of scenic places near it. A
Right.
list will be helpful, and a good bucket list will be ticked in the first year itself
Right.
if I
Yeah.
were to do it again.
Yeah. And if you could go back and do your final year again, what would you do differently?
In my final year, I will travel more. First answer is I will travel more because I know a lot of things. Second is I will start my business. I will start a new business in my second year if I were to do it because I know it very strongly that I want to do business, and if I could start another business in my final year, will it 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 may have changed my life.
Right.
Learn more hard skills. I will say when I say hard skills, it's about do you want which first of all you must have figured out what you want to do. Based on that, you must have learned the skills what is required. If you want to go into finance, learn financial modeling, learn valuation, learn how M&A works, develop hard skills. Very important. Understand you want to do an MBA or not. Understand what your career path looks like. I got clarity later, I will say, but I was fortunate enough that I got clarity at the right time. But it is always better to have clarity when you're in college. So, and I will do more Toastmaster speeches.
Right.
I missed on my Toastmaster speeches. I would complete my pathways and I visit more clubs, travel more. Obviously, I would have exhausted all the pubs by then. So I will need different places.
Right.
So yes, have more
Yeah.
fun and learn more things.
Right. Yeah. Uh, that brings us to the end, and it was a very delightful conversation, Adarsh. I mean, honestly, I did not expect to talk so much in detail, but it was a really interesting conversation and some real great insights about what a growth professional looks like, how marketing as a industry looks like. I'm pretty sure. I hope it was fun for you as well.
It was amazing experience for me, and thank you so much, Vinay, for doing this and reaching out. I learned a lot about CoDot. I learned a lot about experiential learning, and it was good talking to you with such great questions. I
Right,
appreciate that and your research.
right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, man.